They don't arrive with trumpets or flashing lights. They ride in silence, one after another, each breaking a seal, each shifting the world forever. The first appears cloaked in light, crowned, mounted on a white horse, holding a bow without arrows. He speaks of unity, of peace, of a new order. But behind every calm word lies the seed of manipulation. His conquest is not through war, but through deception, and that makes him more dangerous than any army. The danger lies in how welcomed he is. The world doesn't resist him, it invites him in. While people rejoice, laws change quietly. Freedom is traded for safety, beliefs are twisted, morality becomes subjective, and through it all, the rider remains silent, yet his influence spreads. By the time people realize what's happening, their minds are already under siege. His power isn't loud, it's slow, cultural, psychological, and it's already begun. Then comes the second rider. The seal breaks and a red horse storms forth, its rider carrying a massive sword. He doesn't create war, he removes peace. He ignites tension between neighbors, divides families, turns nations against themselves. His weapon is conflict, and it spreads like wildfire. But it's not just war on battlefields, it's ideological war, emotional war, civil unrest. Wherever he rides, harmony vanishes. He thrives in division. You might expect the sword to be used in bloodshed, but this rider rarely swings it. Instead, he lets humanity turn on itself. Governments collapse, protests erupt, fear replaces trust. He whispers in the minds of the angry and broken, and they do the work for him. He doesn't need to kill, he just needs to push. Once conflict starts, it feeds itself. And while the world burns in chaos, the third seal waits to open, and it's darker still. When the third seal breaks, silence follows. A black horse steps forward. Its rider doesn't carry a weapon, he holds a scale. This is the rider of famine. Resources vanish, prices soar. A loaf of bread becomes a luxury. The poor suffer while the powerful hoard. But this famine isn't caused by nature. It's manufactured, controlled. It's not just about hunger, it's about control. Starvation becomes a strategy, and the world bows to scarcity. The Black Rider doesn't bring storms or droughts. His famine is artificial, designed through greed and corruption. Food is available but unreachable. Markets crash, inflation explodes. One meal costs a week's salary. Meanwhile, those in power feast behind closed doors. This isn't nature's wrath, it's human manipulation. And just as the world begins to break under the weight of scarcity, the final seal trembles and death begins to ride. The fourth and final horse emerges pale, almost sickly. Its rider needs no name. We all know him. He doesn't shout, he doesn't threaten, he simply arrives. Disease, decay, despair follow in his path. Hospitals overflow, graves multiply. And behind him rides something even darker, hell itself. He is not the storm, he's just the silence after, the breath that never returns. And once he rides, nothing ever remains the same. Death does not gallop loudly. He drifts, he waits, he slips through borders, through crowds, through whispers. You don't see him coming, only the aftermath he leaves. He doesn't carry a sword or scale. His weapon is time. He drains it slowly until it's gone. And behind every breathless room, every still street, every silenced home, you find his footprints. No one escapes the pale rider. Only few ever see him before it's too late. With all four horsemen unleashed, the world stands on the edge. But they don't just bring destruction, they reveal truth. Each rider exposes what's already broken. False peace, growing division, greed and fear. They are not the cause, they are the consequence. Humanity invited them through choices, through silence, through pride. And now the seals are open, the riders loose, and there is no turning back. People still wait for signs in the sky, but the horsemen don't always arrive with thunder. Sometimes they come dressed as opportunity, wrapped in promises, hidden in progress. Their hooves echo not in noise, but in headlines, in hunger, in division, in death. This isn't just prophecy. It's a pattern, one the world keeps repeating. The question now is, will we open our eyes or ride blindly into what comes next? Each rider reflects a human weakness we refuse to confront. The white horse mirrors our hunger for easy peace. The red, our addiction to conflict. The black horse exposes our greed, and the pale, our denial of mortality. They are not alien to us. They are us. Shadows of choices made, consequences of what we normalize. And though their arrival feels distant, their presence is already etched in the headlines of every day. Religious texts warned us, but we turned prophecy into fiction. Now, the fiction becomes reality. Each event, economic collapse, war, plague, is seen in isolation, never as part of a larger script. But the script exists. It's ancient, clear, unfolding step by step. Those who understand the signs see the seals not as future events, but as present warnings ignored by a world too distracted to notice what's galloping toward it. The riders don't care about nations or flags. They ride through ideologies, through systems, through borders, without resistance. No weapon can stop them. No leader can command them. They respond only to the seals, cosmic triggers tied to human collapse. Their mission is not revenge, it's exposure. They reveal the truth of what we've built and what we've allowed to rot. And in that revelation, the real judgment begins. Still, there's something often missed. The riders don't end the world. They only ride when it's already collapsing. They're not creators of chaos, but it's messengers. They don't bring the fall, they confirm it. This changes everything. Because if they're already here, then maybe we're not waiting for the end. Maybe we're living inside it. And the only escape isn't war or wealth, it's awareness. And so we return to the beginning. The sound of hooves, once ignored, now echoes louder. But this isn't just fear, it's a call to see, to watch, to prepare. Not through panic, but through clarity. The Four Horsemen are not just signs of destruction, but opportunities to confront what we've become. Their ride is terrifying, yes, but it's also a final chance to change course before the last rider makes his final pass. In ancient texts, the horsemen are part of a divine sequence. They're not rogue forces, they ride only when allowed. That means their appearance is authorized, triggered by human failure, yes, but permitted by something greater. This adds weight to their presence. They don't ride alone, they ride with purpose, with timing, and their timing suggests that everything we see now isn't random. It's a countdown, one we've ignored for too long. Many expect the apocalypse to start with fire, explosions, or global signs. But the real beginning is quieter. It begins with agreements made in haste, with truths abandoned, with fear disguised as progress. The horsemen ride when humanity lowers its guard, not through force, but through fatigue, through apathy. And when people stop asking questions, that's when the hoofbeats grow louder than ever. The true horror isn't their presence, it's our blindness to it. We see rising prices, broken families, conflict, sickness, and think it's just another hard year. But what if these are the gallops of prophecy? What if the horsemen aren't coming? Because they've already arrived. The slow fade of truth, the normalization of chaos. These aren't coincidences, they are signs. And signs are only useful if you recognize them in time. Some laugh at prophecy, others ignore it. But history has a pattern. Civilizations fall not by force, but by erosion. The riders mark that erosion, not instantly, but gradually, like cracks spreading beneath polished surfaces. By the time the structure collapses, it's already too late to rebuild. And the horsemen, silent but certain, continue their ride across a world still pretending everything is fine. And so, the message remains. The Four Horsemen are not distant myths or forgotten legends. They are warnings in motion, forces allowed to ride when the world closes its eyes. Their hooves echo in every broken promise, every twisted truth, every silence that replaced justice. Whether you believe in prophecy or not, the signs surround us. And the sound, that's not thunder. It's the gallop of reckoning, and it's getting closer. Some will call it symbolism, others superstition. But for those watching with discernment, the horsemen are a mirror, a revelation. They don't invent pain, they expose it. They don't bring collapse, they confirm it. Their arrival isn't sudden. It's earned, step by choices made in silence. And in the mirror they hold, the question remains, will we keep pretending not to see? Or will we finally face what's already here? In stories, heroes stop the apocalypse. But this story isn't about stopping, it's about recognizing. The world waits for salvation from above, while forgetting that destruction often rises from within. The four riders are not enemies to defeat, they're consequences to confront. Their ride is not fiction, it's the echo of our own neglect. And if we fail to see that, we won't just witness the end, we'll invite it in. They ride not to destroy, but to awaken, to break illusions, to shake humanity from comfort. Each hoofbeat cracks denial, each seal shattered is a truth exposed, and in that exposure, there's still a window, a sliver of light. The final rider hasn't passed completely. There's still time, barely, but time not to run, time to choose, to change, or to fall completely beneath their shadow. So now the question remains, not when, but how. How will you respond when the signs become impossible to ignore? When the silence becomes unbearable? Will you keep scrolling, hoping it all passes? Or will you open your eyes, raise your voice, and prepare your soul? The end may be closer than we think, but awareness can still write a different final chapter. This isn't just a story, it's a wake-up call. The four horsemen are riding, not as myth, but as mirror. And the reflection is sharp. You've seen the signs, you've heard the gallop. Now the choice is yours. Ignore the hooves or start walking a new path before they ride through your door. Because one thing is certain, no one remains untouched when the riders pass.